Comics assemble.
What's a man thing?
Wait, Batman has a pet cow?
Yeah, but why is he called the Silver Surfer?
Who's Steve Ditko?
So what is the Joker's origin story?
Spawn?
These are the kinds of questions we answer on our podcast.
Stay tuned.
Welcome to the first episode of Comics Assemble. I'm your super host, Max Edwards, and this is my sidekick,
Comics expert,
whatever makes him feel better,
Jonah Addis.
Well, Jonah, why don't you reach into the comic box and tell us what super being we're going to be looking at today?
Well, Max, it looks like our person of interest today is going to be Man-Thing.
You know, Man-Thing almost sounds like some sort of insult that you'd get thrown at you by some old lady whenever you're taking a little too long in the grocery shop outline or something. How interesting of a character could he really be?
He's actually pretty interesting and one of my favorite B-list characters for sure.
Yeah.
He doesn't crack the top 5 as favorites overall, but he's actually pretty good.
No, there's some good stuff in that B-list.
Yeah, first up, just kind of background on the character. We've got Dr. Theodore, or Ted Salas. He's a native of Omaha, Nebraska, so that automatically makes him a little interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. He was actually working in the Everglades as a part of Project Gladiator, which was a group that was trying to recreate the super soldier serum that we all know from Captain America.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
However, the project was ambushed by Advanced Idea Mechanics, better known as AIM, to comic book readers. And with his formula memorized, he destroyed it. He destroyed the only copy and ran for his life.
Really? No.
Yes. He was, of course, attacked by AIM, and as a result, he crashed into a swamp, and his serum, the vial, cracked and was absorbed into his own skin, and he became the Man-Thing. He lost his ability to speak and communicate in normal ways. He had very dim memories of what had just happened, and after dealing with the terrorists that were attacking him, he just kind of wandered into the swamp.
So it was kind of like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mutagen type thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
It was later revealed that the swamp that he crashed into actually had some magical properties as well, and that kind of became a part of his character later in the story. But at least upon his initial introduction into the comic book world, that was all it was.
Well, yeah, they had to keep a trick or two up his sleeve. But this Man-Thing's starting to grow on me.
Yeah.
So did he just start as man? Did he just start as thing?
Yeah, so he was kind of the brainchild of Roy Thomas and Stan Lee that created this. And, of course, Stan Lee is known as the co-creator of pretty much everything in the Marvel Universe.
Oh, pretty much.
And so Roy Thomas kind of took the idea that Stan Lee had for this swamp-like creature and turned it into Man-Thing as we know him. He didn't stay on the project for too long, but he wrote his first appearance in, I believe it was Savage Tales.
That's definitely a place to
Savage
start.
Tales '1, actually.
Wow.
In 1971.
So he definitely got the ball rolling there.
Yeah. No, the 70s were a good time for superheroes,
Oh,
for sure.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but after the initial creation with Stan Lee and Roy Thomas, it passed through different writers, one of the most notable being Gary Conway, who kind of brought the character to new life. However, it was actually a big point of Man-Thing's history in publication is his confusion for DC's counterpart Swamp Thing.
Right.
Which is, to me, a little bit of a shame because I love Man-Thing, and Swamp Thing he's cool, don't get me wrong, but I appreciate the original. Swamp Thing came less than a year after Man-Thing's original introduction.
Not a fan of copycats.
You know, that's funny. I could go on a whole tangent on that, but in this particular case, no.
Wow. Well, I mean, you know, I hope he's not too down in the dumps about it, but what does he do with these newfound powers he got in Nebraska? Does he fight for good? Does he fight for evil, maybe?
So generally, he's viewed as either a tragic hero or an anti-hero.
Okay.
He's served on some teams they were like a monster version of the Avengers, including a character called Franken-Castle, who is a combination Frank Castle, the Punisher, and Frankenstein, of course.
That's definitely a guy right there.
Yeah, the whole episode on him.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, he's generally a good guy. He's got his powers. He can sense fear and he can sense negative emotions, and negative emotions actually make him react poorly. Generally, it throws him into a fit of rage.
Okay,
so you have to be very calm when dealing with a character like this.
Right. Got to keep your head.
Yeah. He secretes an incredibly potent acid that ignites pretty much anything it touches.
Jeez. This guy seems a little dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous for sure. He's got a body count, although I don't know what it is.
Oh, that scares me. But let's be real here. If we're reading this comic, we're going to be looking at him. How's his wardrobe looking? Is he going to be hitting the red carpet, or does he need a trip to the Gap?
Trip to the Gap for sure. He's, as far as I'm aware, always naked. However, he is certainly not your typical human-looking form. He's got, green skin and swamp growth all across his body, including several shelf mushrooms.
Really?
Is one of my favorite details that most artists include.
That's actually pretty cool. I can appreciate some mushrooms.
He's got a big trunk that comes down off of his face, covering his mouth, and then his unibrow drapes down into two more trunk-like features over his coming down to his face. So he's got this three trunk look kind of thing going on.
That's some serious hair care right there.
Oh yeah, big red eyes. That's kind of his identifying feature. Is if you're in the swamp and you see two big red glowing eyes, it's probably Man-Thing.
Ooh, definitely something to look out for. But speaking of the red carpet, how's his time in other spotlights been? Any movies on him, or starred in any TV shows? Heck, maybe even a hidden rap album?
No music as far as I'm aware, besides perhaps a nod in the score of the recent Werewolf by Night on Disney+.
Oh, okay. So he's what that was about.
Yes. I was very happy. Brilliant introduction of the character into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he was actually an animatronic. That was not CGI for the most part.
Wow.
Some CGI touch-up, of course, but he was actually there. As far as other media, he's been in 4 different cartoons, and actually my favorite little bit of Man-Thing media is he was actually the star of a movie in 2005 called Man-Thing. He was played by Conan Stevens, a fitting name for such a hulk of a character.
Oh, yeah.
Conan stands 7 feet tall and actually played the Mountain on the first season of Game of Thrones before he was recast.
Really?
Yes.
So, yeah, they definitely went for that hulking stature right there.
Yes. He's also been in a couple of games. As far as I'm aware, he's only been playable in 2 of those, that being Marvel Contest of Champions on mobile and Lego Marvel Superheroes 2.
Okay. I think I picked those up. Well, this is definitely someone that you're going to want to watch out for, especially if you happen to spend a lot of time in the swamps of Nebraska.
Yes, he actually he now resides in Florida.
Really?
Yes.
Never mind. That actually seems pretty fitting. I don't even think he's the most dangerous thing in Florida.
Oh, not by a long shot.
Ooh, I'm hoping we get into some of those more dangerous ones.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for joining us. If you enjoyed our podcast, please give us a good rating and share it with your friends or anyone you think might be interested. Once again, this has been Comics Assemble.